guys, I'm Holly. I am the lead librarian for the Walker Memorial Library in North Muskegon, and I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy out there. I know since I've been working from home, I've had a lot of time to get caught up on stuff that I normally wouldn't get to, including cleaning out my closets. And it got me thinking that before I threw some of that stuff into a bag to go to Goodwill or somewhere else or just throwing it away, that there's probably some things that I could do to repurpose some of that stuff. And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to take an old t-shirt and I'm going to show you how to make a t-shirt bag with it. Before we get started, I will tell you everything that you're going to need to get this done, and it's actually not that much. First, you're going to need the old t-shirt. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need some kind of round shape. Bowls usually work pretty good, or if you want an oval shape, find something with an oval in it. And then just a marker. The first thing that we are going to do is we're going to lay out our t-shirt. Move my mouse out of the way here. And you're going to take that bowl and you're going to place it right at the top of the t-shirt. And this is to make where you're going to cut out for the opening of the bag. So you're going to place that and eyeball it so it's centered on that opening there, and you're just going to take your marker and you're going to lightly trace all around there so it gives you a guideline when you're cutting that out. Okay, I'm going to put our bowl aside. So now you can see on my t-shirt I've got a nice big mark on there to cut along with. Before we cut that, the next thing we're going to do is fold that t-shirt and we're going to match up our sleeves. And the reason we're doing that is because we are going to cut those sleeves off there, and we want them as uniform as possible, and the best way to do that is just to cut them at the same time. So make sure you've smoothed all the wrinkles out that you can so you don't get any weird bumps in there when you're cutting. And then we're going to take our fabric scissors and we are just going to cut those sleeves right off there. Okay, so now, and then I've got a little piece that's kind of jaggedy right here. So I'm going to flip it over and clean it up. Okay, so we have our t-shirt now with no arms. I'll put that behind me. We don't need it anymore. And then you're going to take it and you're going to cut out that piece that we marked earlier with the bowl. And you're going to want to cut around the outside of that line so you don't still have the marker showing up there. And t-shirts are pretty forgivable fabric, so if you're cutting and you have a little oopsie here or there, you can pretty easily clean it up without having to grab another t-shirt and starting all over. Now, when I pick t-shirts for this, I like the ones that have some kind of logo like the Boxcar Children thing here. Okay, and we're going to take that neck piece and put it behind. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our t-shirt And we're going to turn it inside out. Then once you want to lay that in front of you, so you have room to work on the bottom here. I'm going to move my marker out of the way. Now, if you want to, you can take a flat surface and draw a line across here, because the next thing that we're going to do is decide how deep you want your t-shirt. So pick it up and eyeball it and see about how deep you want that bag. So I'm going to take my book here and I'm going to just kind of do a little dash along here so I know where my cutting line is. And this does not have to be perfect as long as you cut above that line. So this t-shirt's kind of large and I don't want it that big. So I'm going to take this here and I'm going to cut off some of the bottom piece. You don't have to do this. If you'd like yours to be longer, that's fine too. It all depends on how long you want your bag to be. So I'm going to take that and toss it aside. The next thing that we're going to do is you're going to want to cut strips up to your line, your little dash line that you made, that are probably about 1/2 inch wide. And you're going to want to cut it so it's right past that dash mark you made. That way when we're tying it, it'll cover that mark up. And you're going to go all the way. Looks like this with the strips. You can make them a little wider if you want to. It's a personal preference. So we're going to go all the way across the bag, or the t-shirt. It's going to be a bag. Now with turning the t-shirt inside out, that means that you're not going to have the fringe hanging down from the bottom. If you want the finished look to have the actual fringe pieces hanging down from the bottom, then you would not turn the t-shirt inside out before you started cutting. But this one, it's just going to give us a smooth bottom on the bag. I'm going to move it over so I can keep cutting. I'm going to cut the side here. Okay, so once you get all the way across, it's going to look like that with fringe all along the bottom of your bag. There are 2 ways to tie it off. One is you just take your strips that are right next to each other and just tie them. I recommend a double knot if you're doing that. The other way, and this is the way that I usually do it, piece. Is while those strips are laying, actually, you take the top piece like this, get it closer, and you just cut a little hole or do one little snip. And then all you're doing then is just pulling it through. But I'm going to do the actual, oh, I missed a spot. So take it. Depending on which one you think takes the least amount of time or which one you think is going to look better, you just take it and pull it through and it knots itself at the bottom. So then you can pull it up. But since most people do the tie method, I will do that. It's actually easier if you're doing this for the first time. So you're going to take these And you're going to tie it to the one next to it. Tie it nice and tight. Do a double knot so it doesn't come loose. And you're going to go all the way across the bag. So once you've got that tied, then you take the next one. And we're going to tie that. And you're going to want to check as you're going across to make sure that there aren't any huge gaps in the bottom of the bag. There shouldn't be. You're tying these relatively close. That's why we double knot also, so it doesn't work its way loose and you don't have holes in the bottom of your bag. So we're just going to keep going and tie knots all the way across. This is going to take me a second. And then you'll get all the way at the end and you'll be like, uh-oh, I only have one left. That's not a problem. Just take the scissors, cut that last piece into 2 strips, and just tie it together like you did everything else. So you just create the one that you were missing, is all. Okay, so the whole bottom tied together is going to look like this. And you'll see there's no huge gaps in there. So the last thing you're going to want to do is take that bag or the t-shirt and turn it back right side out here. Now all your fringes are in the bottom and you have a bag instead of a t-shirt. It's got my boxcar logo on it. Now there are ways that you can dress this up if you want to. You don't just want it plain. You could put pom-poms on it. You could braid some t-shirt pieces and put them on here so it kind of cinches these together. There's a lot of ways to add stuff to it, add some buttons to it, but that is basically all that you need to do to make a t-shirt bag. And like I said, if you want it so the fringe is going to hang at the bottom and you can look at the bottom and there's no gaps in there, then all you do is keep the t-shirt right side out and then you'll have the fringe pieces hanging along the bottom when you're done. So that is how you make a t-shirt bag. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget that we have 10 branches that serve the Muskegon County area. But while our buildings are closed, you can visit us online and access all our resources there at www.madl.org. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.